I'm Iris Bryan. I'm nearly 85. Next birthday I'll be 85. I came to England the 24th of October 1959. I was invited to come to England by Richard Bryan, my husband to be. I didn't have a time on coming, I just open-minded. I came on the airplane. I don't remember what was the name of the airplane. Probably Air Jamaica, I think. I chose the airline because it was quicker. On the boat or the ship, it would be 3 weeks or more. I moved directly to Gloucester, and it was my husband who sent for me. Yes, I did have a son. He was about 18 months. My mother cared for him while I was here. It was a very odd position, but I confided my mother, and she loved him as his own child because this was his first grandchild. My first job when I came to England was working at the tire product in Lydney, cutting tires for the car park 21 miles from Gloucester. And it was not easy because those days it was very cold. We were traveled in a company bus from King Square, and I was living at Charles Street. My standard of living is there are opportunities which was better than the West Indies. I made the decision because I was invited to come to England by Richard Bryan. When I was in Jamaica, I used to work as a nanny looking after children in a private home. When I moved here to the UK, I wasn't encouraged to continue further education, but my husband wasn't interested. I wasn't encouraging. So I was in a factory for a couple of years. Then I went and worked at the O'Neill Hospital as orderly, those days they were called, and I worked there until I was expecting my first daughter. I was here about 3 years before I was conceived with my daughter. My son in Jamaica was cared for by my grandmother, which is my mother, and there wasn't any technology wasn't as common as it is today, so I would have to write. So I would write and send a few pounds when I can, and that's how we communicated. My son in Jamaica did want to come to England, and I have tried because the father was not interested, and that it carried on until it was stopped. People were stopped coming to England. I was very upset. I've tried. I've paid money. I've paid Chinese. I've paid until we both get at the dead end. And I told him to take the money and buy a cow. He was about 13. He was very disappointed. He was looking forward. I could not afford to go back to Jamaica before he was 18. And when I was able to go to Jamaica and saw him, he was over the moon. And he did not imagine, he said, "Oh, my mother, she's pretty. She's still saying I'm pretty." Bless him. I communicate with my mom and inquire of my son, so they know and would love to know him. Until when the second child was 18, he went and saw him. And they both get on because they both look so much alike. People there could not hardly tell the difference between the two brothers. Even though my son in Jamaica did not manage to get here, he came over when he was in his 20s, and what a joy it was. They were so glad to see each other. They get on very well, very glad. They were happy. So in all, he visited here 3 times. He did not like it then because it was in the winter time. But he came back one time in the summer, and he did like it then. One of them that born here visited Jamaica when he was 18, and they were so knitted together. Now, Errol have children, and one of them died when he was 18 years old. So we all went to the funeral. And he have another daughter that died at 16, 17. It was too much for me to visit again, another funeral of Errol. So the three of them went. Although of the distance, they have a very good relationship. I would like to go back, but at this time I can't afford because the expense is too much. It's too costly. I cannot afford to go out. He would love to see me now. My children here has got much better opportunities than my son home because one of them is a teacher, one of them is an accountant, one of them is electrician, and the one my son home has done well for himself. He does woodwork and is rated highly. I am happy I moved to England when the opportunity was there. I am happy living here. My children are happy. They're educated. They got their choice professions. Only regret is my son Errol, who was not able to join us here. Thank God for technology. We can talk every day. And every time I call him, he's so happy. He's laugh, he rejoices. He's glad to have me alive. He's such a lovely hearted young man. He's a big man now. Anyway, of course I miss him very much. My son feels so happy to know he still have a mother can speak to. And he don't matter what problem he's going through, but whenever I phoned him or he phoned me, it's a big, joyful laugh. And he always have something to tickle me. Because he called me his queen or I'm Miss World. Oh, he's such a beautiful man. We do love each other as mother and son. We don't find many of these around, but I am blessed. Despite the distance, he's so close. He's so warm. And when I visit, we are at the beach. We are at excited places. He treat me really well when there's nothing too expensive that he would buy for me. Two of the children are here. They are just as close. My daughter, oh my God. She took me on an excited 2 days away into a luxurious mansion hotel. And she was just she and I. She was so happy. She bought me outfit and she had her plan that we should take pictures together. And she treated me really well. We were in the jacuzzi, we was in the steam room, we was in the hot room, and she was full of joy. It was a joyful 2 days. My youngest son is just like Harold. He has a good heart. Although he's not near to me, but we speak every day. If he's away at his meetings and he could not ring me in the evening, in the morning, he would apologize and said I was at the meeting and it didn't finish till such a time and it was late to call him. He's such a joy, and I praise God for them all.